Welcome class, today's lesson 2.5. Strong mathematicians can use rounding to estimate products and solve real-world problems. So using our skill of estimation and rounding to help us with our multiplication to see how we're doing. So that is the goal for the day. Stick out your paper, your notebook, your pencil, write today's date, and let's begin. So box one we want to write down is this strategy, the estimation sandwich strategy when multiplying a 1-digit by 2-digit number. So you're going to pause the video and write these steps down, and then we'll actually work through these steps together in a couple of practice problems. But notice here's a strategy. One, we're going to round the 2-digit number up, and we're going to multiply. We're going to round the 2-digit number down and multiply. And then we're going to multiply our original 1 by 2-digit number, and your product should be in between those two estimates. If that strategy works, that's why I call it the estimation sandwich. With the top layer an overestimate, we have an underestimate, and our answer should be somewhere in the middle. So pause this video right now and write down these notes to add to help us out with the strategy of how to use estimation sandwich. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to estimate sandwich each product, then solve to check your work. So our original equation was 3 times 52. And now we're going to notice is that we took our 2-digit number and we rounded up. So 3 times 60, this is a lot what we learned about earlier in this unit about 1s and 10s. So we know that 3 times 6 is 18. And since it's in the 10 0, there's a 0, it's 180. And then our next part of the strategy is that we round down. So now we have 3 times 50. So 3 times 5 is 15. That means 15 times 10 is 150. So we know now before we do any of our work, our answer should be somewhere between these two numbers. Because we've overestimated here, we went over, and here we underestimated. Which means this should be somewhere right in the middle. So let's find out. We use our area model. We have it drawn there for you as well. How we broke up the place value. 52 is a 50 plus 2. So now we have 3 times 50 equals... and 3 times 2. We'll find the area of each of the boxes. So we know that we have a 0 in the 1, so we're going to keep that 0 there. And 3 times 5 is 15, so we have 150. 3 times 2 is 6. We add those numbers up. 150 plus 6 equals 156. And now we check our answer, and we see, is that between our two estimates, 156? The answer is yes. So we know at least our answer's in the right range of where it should be. So pause the video right now and add this to your notebook. Here's another problem, but now if you keep taking less work away, so let's see if we can figure this out together. So 7 times 48. Well, our single or 1-digit number is going to remain the same. So we know the 7's going to be here and the 7's going to be here. Now we have 48, so if we round 48 up, we look at the 4, we look at the 8, causes us to go up. This would be 50. So do we have a 0 here? 5 times 7 is 35. So our answer should not be higher than 350. We're going to take 48 and we're going to round that down. So we're going to round down to 40. So since we have a 0 in our ones place value, 4 times 7 is 28. So our answer is going to be between 350 and 280. So here's our area model. What do we do first? We put our 1-digit on the side, and we break up our 48 into expanded notation form. So we have 40 plus 8. Now we're going to multiply 7 times 40 equals, and 7 times 8 equals. So that's 7 times 8 equals 56. And 7 times 40, so since we have a 0 in the ones place value, 4 tens times 7 gives us 28 tens, so it turns into 280. We're going to add our numbers, 280 plus 56, and we're going to get the answer of 6, 3, carry the 1, 336. And if we look, 336 is in between our two numbers of our estimation sandwich. So pause the video, another example to write down to help you work through how to make estimation sandwiches, and then solve it to see if our estimation is correct. So we're going to explain how rounding estimation could help us solve this problem. Keisha's school has 185 fourth grade students. The library has 28 tables with 6 chairs at each table. Can all of the 4th graders sit in the library at one time? How do you know? All right. So I'm picturing this again, because with word problems, we like to picture what's going on. So Keach's school has 185 4th grade students. So I picture all these students. The library has 28 tables. So I see these 28 tables are in the library. I see 6 chairs at each table. Can all of the 4th graders sit in the library time? How do you know? So we're going to use running estimation. Well, we know that 28 tables is really close to 30 tables. So if we take 30 times 6, that would give us 180 seats. Now we rounded this number up, so we know we really don't have this many seats. This is more seats than we actually have. So if we have 185 4th graders, and we have approximately 180 seats, we know that 185 is greater than 180. So will all of the 4th graders fit in the library one time? The answer would be no. And how do you know? Because we rounded up, and even when we rounded up, our number was still smaller than the number of students we had. So this is a problem that you might see to kind of get you going, where how we use estimation to figure out, do we have enough? And notice we never found exactly how many seats we need, because we're looking for how we can use estimation to help us solve our problem. So keep this in mind as you go through problems that you might see where estimation can be helpful. So now it's your turn. So your number is 9 times 27. We want you to estimate sandwich each product, then solve to check your estimate. So you can pause the video right now and work on going through the process of an overestimate and underestimate, and then solving using the area model. See, is your answer between those two? And another problem to try, 8 times 34. We do the same strategy, the same skills, to really practice understanding how do we estimate and see if our number's in between those two. So here's an estimation word problem and rounding to see if you can solve this problem. So Amani is printing the class newsletter. There are 8 pages in the newsletter and she needs 74 copies. Each package of paper contains 90 sheets. How many packages of paper does she need to print her newsletter? Said I'll fix my error. Yes, make sure you capitalize start of sentences. There we go. How many packages of paper does she need to print the newsletter? So read this again to yourself, picture what's going on, see if you can use estimation to solve how many packages of paper does she need. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to write those down as well or share those out. And if you have any strategies that you use to help you, make sure you include those as well, because that can help other students be successful. Thanks for another great lesson.